it's Dr. Karen. Welcome to the Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of February 17th, 2025. And the topic is change at turbo speed. Before we get into the topic, though, if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, perhaps the notification bell, so every time I do a new video, you'll be notified. Also, too, check out the podcast that is mirrored on YouTube as well. We'll put the links below. So, change on turbo speed. Okay, let me ask you this. Have you felt that life just keeps getting faster and faster and faster? Remember the times when we were little kids and we're just out playing in the park and it just, afternoons seem to last forever, right? Well, yes, those days are over, unless you happen to be a little kid watching this, but granted, it seems that the expectation for us these days, I'm not just talking about sensitive souls, okay? The expectation seems to be that change is fast. And not only that, we're expected to catch up. This can be a cause or a major cause of stress. Now, there are some beliefs and thoughts that the older we get, the more set in our ways that we get, and that we don't adjust to change very easily. Could be true. That being said, I don't particularly think it's a good idea to hang on to that belief. Why? Well, there are many, many, many sensitive souls like myself, well into their, past the half century in age. And even though it seems like for young people it'd be a lot easier for them to be flexible and for them to learn new things, it's not necessarily true that as we get older, we can't. So some of it is just not a brain thing, but a belief thing. It is something we are conditioned to believe. And with the so-called ascension expansion process, change is happening rapidly. And perhaps, if you're listening to Gregg Braden and other spiritual teachers who follow the, precession of the equinox, where we are is a time of massive change. And so how do we not just tolerate it, but how do we flow with that change, right? So think about a river. So there may be a slow moseying river. And have you ever gone down, or wished you would go down on these rivers and have one of those big, like, not a life preserver, but like one of those big donut floaty things, right? What are those called? Flotation devices. Anyway, so you're lazing down this river. And it's like doo-dee-doo-dee-doo, enjoying yourself. It's awesome. Come around a corner and the river starts getting faster. And then it starts going faster and faster and faster and faster. And after a while, you're being like, woo, now perhaps you are in a raft, that's built for going into fast rivers or rapids, if you will. Now, eventually, if it gets fast enough, and or if there are a lot of seemingly obstacles, these rocks, even if they're small, but you're coming up to them very quickly, how would you maneuver? Well, you need something even more agile than one of those rafts. You might need a kayak. Let's just assume that we all know how to kayak, okay? So maybe you need one of those kayaks. If you go upside down, you can come right back up, right? That obviously takes training, but it's possible. It is possible. So instead of resisting that there was rapid change or complaining that there was rapid change, we have another choice. We can start to hone those rapid change turbo speed skills. We can get on our kayak and we can start paddling like crazy and do the best we can. Now, there will be some, for sure, that are going to keep hanging on to that floaty, even though we're going down this rapid river and you're being tossed all over the place on this floaty, okay? It's not very comfortable. No. So I highly recommend that you consider changing vehicles, changing to something that is more agile, and perhaps the most agile may be just you know, without even a vehicle. You just kind of go with the flow. That being said, it is not easy for most people to change this quickly. Now, if you are, for example, you are the CEO of a very, 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 very big organization and you've got hundreds or maybe thousands of people working for you, it is very difficult to change policies, to change direction quickly. It's like moving the Titanic, right? It's like redirecting the Titanic. It takes a lot and it takes a while. But the trimmer you are, if you will, the easier it is to maneuver. Now, the cool thing is we primarily have responsibility for ourselves. So theoretically, we could change quickly. Maybe our bodies don't change as quickly as we'd like, right? But our perspectives can change very quickly. And so instead of, clawing, clinging to the rocks or clinging to the floaty thing, just realize that the change for right now, the energies are very, very, very fast. And the more you just kind of let go and see what is in the moment that requires your attention and or input, the better. Now, are there things, whether it be tech or otherwise, and I'm very techy, that I have declined or refused to do? Yes. Not because necessarily I have a bad attitude about it, but because there's a time and a place for everything, and it is not necessarily my highest and best to learn every single nuance of every single piece of new tech. However, when presented with something that's a solution that saves me time and energy, oh yeah, I'm on board. I'll learn it, you know? I will figure it out. In some way, shape, or form, I will figure it out. But that's just me. You may not have the same kind of, characteristics as I do. You may have a completely different energy blueprint, a different human design, a different wealth dynamics profile, you know what I mean? So it's okay. I think it's just if we can dissolve as much resistance as possible, that would be super helpful, because the people that tend to or have a habit of shifting quickly with the changing winds of the energies of what's going on, they do better. At least they seem to be able to adjust and adapt. And if you look at there's a book by Arthur Furstenberg, and it's about electromagnetic radiation and how when radio waves came out, a whole bunch of people died. And then when the next wave came out, a whole bunch of people died, and so on and so forth. And then you got 3G, 4G, 5G, all that kind of stuff. There is going to be a percentage of population that will not be able to adapt, and it's not necessarily the older population. Okay, are they not able to adapt biologically, physically? Yeah, possibly. But other times it's because they're just that energy blueprint that's really slow, or it is their time to go. So we don't have to judge that per se. However, if you feel like your mission is not quite done and you would like to have more pleasantness and enjoyment of your life, then it would be really helpful to be able to shift and change quickly. So today's TOLPAKAN Healing Activation is to support you, at least in the perception of change, to get rid of or at least delete whatever we can, that resistance to change. And just really download that energetic blueprint of being able to change quickly if you want it. If you don't want it, that's okay. It is up to you. It is a choice. No one's forcing you to be changing fast, okay? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to click her off because I don't want to change fast. And that's okay. There are some people that will hold the stability of the old, of the non-change, of the history, because that's the role, and that's completely okay too. All right, so let's do this TOLPAKAN Healing Activation. And if this resonates with you, to receive it, you can just make the intention to receive. We're going to go into the 0 point together, and how we do that is stillness through observing internal movement. I also call it stillness on the fly, because you can do it while you're doing something else, a way of meditating while moving. Now, in this case, we're going to go ahead and move the body a little bit. You can jiggle a little bit. You can rub your hands, stamp your feet, whatever you want to do to get some energy. We call that qi in Chinese medicine, moving, right? Let's go ahead and close your eyes if you want to, and are safe to do so. Focus on the inside of the body. Feel any energy, waves, tingles, pulses moving around in the body, and follow that flow wherever it goes. As you become fully present in the body, feeling whatever sensations are in the body, you actually go to the 0 point field. This is where the seat of all creation is, and where we can do our activations from. Here we go. I now command any resistance and reactivity to change or rapid change be deleted, dissolved, and uncreated, and resolved completely in the highest and best way, all directions of time, and all timelines where we exist, where allowed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I now command the energetic blueprint of being able to not only tolerate, but enjoy and flex with and be adaptable to rapid change. Be downloaded and activated in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with speed, ease, and grace. Take a breath in and out. All right. I would love to know what that felt like for you. Go ahead and post that in the comments below. Let me know how the activation was like for you. And yeah, really have a think about the change. I also resist change from time to time. I happen to be that energy blueprint type that really can flex with change now, but you should have seen me when I was 5. Forget it. Anyway, so people can change quickly. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Much love. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you resonate with this message, please hit like and subscribe, and perhaps share it with someone who's like-minded, who you think might benefit. And in the meantime, I would love for you to connect with me in my private light medicine community. It's free to join, and it's for sensitive souls who desire to love and support each other. So I'll put the link below, as well as other exciting offerings for this week. Much love. Thanks for watching.